And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
Hey folks, today we're going to be taking a look at Boxes. Boxes is a game that comes in a cool box. It looks like a trailer that opens up, slides open like this. This game is based on shows like Storage Wars and such, and it's an auction style game where you're going to bid on lots of things and hope they're good. And it's for 2 to 8 players, although 8's kind of a misnomer. 8 just means you have 4 teams of 2 people each and they're bidding together. That's okay, I mean, but essentially it's 4 players. And so that's how the game works. I'll admit that I was initially interested in this game because it came with this gavel, which you may have seen in recent reviews, which I find hilarious to use, but also the box, and I don't know, I was looking for a light auction game, and this one seems to fit the bill. Let's hope. At the beginning of the game, each player is going to get 3,400 ECUs made up of these different bills, and these bills are like a laminated paper, and I'm not a big fan of paper money, but at least these don't crinkle very easily. And one player is also going to get this token to show that they start. Players are going to get a shield that they're going to be able to hide their stuff behind, and then you'll put some boxes in the middle of the table for the first auction. There's going to be 6 auctions. Each auction has 10 boxes. 6 of the boxes are open boxes. 4 of them are closed. You'll be pulling those from piles of tiles that you have. Now, each of the tiles has different things in them. Here you can see kind of an assortment of what might possibly be in. The open boxes go from a value of 20 up to a value of 200. And then they're in 4 different colors, and then there's 10 that are just gray. The closed boxes, the 14 of them are 0, while there's 2 that are worth 500 each, and then the rest are colored boxes of 250. So starting with the player who has this token, each player has 7 actions. In an action, you can look at some of the boxes. So it takes 2 actions to look at one of these boxes and 1. So let's say I look at this one. I see that that one's worth 10. Okay, not so great. And here's the second one. Oh, that's 100. So that's 2 of my actions. 3, 4. Ooh, that's 250. 5, 6. Ooh, another 250. And then 7, I'll look at this one. Ooh, 50. So I know this is a pretty decent thing. Other people are going to look at the different boxes. And then we bid. Now the way you bid is determined by this player. He can do a hidden bid where players will just put some money on the table, flip it over. Whoever has the highest amount wins, pays it, gets all the boxes. Or you can go around a table just outbidding each other until everyone passes but one player, in which case that person pays the money and gets all the boxes. So here we can see that these boxes, oh yeah, this was a pretty good set here. There were some pretty good ones. So this is a 750, 800, 820, 840. This is worth 940. So hopefully the auction went for less than that. And you'll put these behind your screen. Now, you're going to do that 10 times, and whoever has the most points at the end of the game is the winner. You will also get points at the end of the game if you have a set of 3 or 4 in a 2-player game of a color. So for example here, I have a 50, 150, and 250. You have to have one of the 250s. If you do that, if you have a complete set, then you will also get a bonus of another 250. Now that's all well and good, but we're also looking for those 500s. Those are also great things just to get by themselves. You add up the value of these at the end of the game, plus any cash you have left on hand, and whoever has the most money is the winner. Wow, what a cool little game. I should mention a couple negatives. First of all, I wasn't a big fan of paper money, like I said, but also some of the tiles have little white margins on them, and so they're not all centered, and so I guess if you memorized, in my game there's like 5 or 6 of the tiles with white margins on them, that I guess you could figure out which ones are which. That's kind of a misprinting thing. But it didn't really affect me because, again, here's one that's 10 and here's one that's 50, and they both have that white on them, so how would I know which one was which? But still, that probably could have been avoided. I do like this packaging. This works pretty well. It holds everything in very nicely. The rules are written on the shields in different languages, so that's kind of a weird thing. I don't know if I like that or not. And the artwork is fine. Now, I do know that this game is being looked at by a reputable company who will maybe republish it and fix some of these production problems, so you might want to hang off for that, but you also might want to hunt this one down. It is really cool, and I'll tell you, one of the things I like about it is it's a light auction game, right? And you're just bidding and you have some information, but you're watching how the other person bids because they probably have different information than you. Very rarely will people pick the same tiles as you did. So everyone has different information, so watching how they bid is intriguing. And this works pretty well as a two-player auction game, and those are, I can count on one hand how many of those are out there. And so I find that it's a quick game to throw down the tiles and you just go boom, boom, boom. You could do okay maybe by never winning a lot. I don't have seen anyone do that. Probably isn't the best way. You would have to bid everybody up to the maximum each time, and I guess if you did that, you'd run them out of money and eventually you'd have it yourself. But still, knowing when to bid and when not to bid, you might only win one lot, but you still might have a chance if you have most of your money left. Very interesting game, easy to play. We're talking 30 minutes or less. Pretty cool. So I highly recommend this one, although you may wish to wait for the reprint. But as it is, this is kind of a cool little product I'm glad to have on my shelves. Dice Tower Judgment, approved.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at Dicetowernetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.
Cierra la puerta.